hey, the stream is still not working, but that's
Niggers.
okay because we're just gonna be that channel will never be monetized, but that's okay.
I don't even try because I've
Yeah.
been taken down once. I just know. Like I don't even bother, honestly.
Yeah.
I don't think it's good either.
On your server, Essa, I got a whole bunch of people to do like Orange Man bad for my
Orange
latest.
Man
I,
bad.
I like how there's like the one dude in the background just like Ree.
Yeah.
Re
Like I just hear Ree. I'm like that alone Ree. I
And
I
the,
wish I was
Automatic
there.
noise texture reboot.
and there's this
Re sound module.
and at this
Go.
and at the end, this is one guy who just softly goes niggers. You have to keep that in just to see if YouTube will take it down. Which fortunately the video is still up, but it's absolutely amazing.
Hey, does anybody in here know like someone who could draw my avatar for like Halloween?
Yes.
Tabby
but
could-
I
Tab-
have not in the
Tabs
mood
could
to
probably
so.
do it. It's a little late, but
Would
you
she
ever
want?
heard of Tabby, Wesley?
Yes. Yes.
She
if here's
drew
a
my
question.
Halloween.
Hold on a second.
Would she want to though?
I don't know.
I mean,
still
like,
can't believe
yeah, we might as well just get started on our first topic. So,
So is a snow fox, nigger.
well, it's true.
Yes. I'm just saying that because he's muted.
It's true.
Oh.
He'll see it on the recording when he watches
Where
it
did
back.
Hopaloo go?
Oh no, I
Oh,
heard
that-
you say it. I'm in the
Oh my
room
God.
still.
Of course.
Yeah. Anyways, unarmed man shot in the back, killed by cops in the bathroom over jaywalking stop.
Okay, that's
Jeez.
Yeah, like
yeah.
this is on video and everything. Like it's not quite as shocking as the Philip Brailsford killing of David Shaver, but it's you can still it's still pretty horrifying. You can I put the link in the Discord chat so you can see it for yourself. I'm not going to play it on stream, although I probably should.
Okay,
at
well
least on recording.
I'm a child, but I don't really care. I'm gonna watch it anyway.
Yeah.
You're a teenager.
So
I watched the Daniel Shaver incident. I watched the.
Mhm.
I watched all of them.
Oh, you want to
Mhm.
talk about seeing that stuff? I dare you to watch Three Guys One Hammer.
no.
I cannot wait until the day where some cop is just abusing somebody and then a crypto mercenary comes up behind him and shoots him in the back of the head.
Oh, that'd be funny.
Jeez.
That'd be fantastic. Well, I think what more likely will happen is that they're gonna stop them and arrest them,
Oh, hey,
and then that's gonna be news.
I forgot your name. In the
Hazer?
yes.
Yeah.
What are you doing, dude?
The video thing you described. You're too late.
Huh?
He said. Maybe you. He said.
You haven't
if you
seen
wanna
nothing until you've seen Three Guys One
Your
Hammer.
fucking hands right now.
Okay. Well, that's unfortunate because I already have. Unfortunately.
Yeah, I've
Oh
seen
my
it.
fucking goodness, that's holy shit.
I'm in 8th grade. You know how many times those videos get linked?
Probably
on
a lot.
Instagram?
Mostly
Yeah.
it's a bunch of edgy. It's literally a bunch of edgy middle schoolers trying to out edge each other.
It is.
Shadow the Edge.
Take that video of 3 guys and 1 hammer and upload it to YouTube under a title, "Hey Dwayne, watch this video."
No, what I was thinking about doing was
The ironic thing is that happens.
what I was going to do was I was going to like those to be continued memes. I was going to do that, but right before the hammer hits his face, like it continues for one last second where it actually does. So people were like, "Okay, thank goodness," and then they're like, "Ah." Okay, I'm sorry. Let's get to the actual topic. Oh, I'm sorry. Let's get to the actual topic.
Okay, yeah, let's.
All right. Yeah. So I was playing the video, and it looks like what happened is like this guy was jaywalking. He gets asked by the cop, "What are you doing, dude?" And he just like casually walks away. The police officer gets into his car, follows him to some convenience store, and the police officer parks his car, follows him as he goes into the bathroom, which is like very close to the door. So then the police officer gets out of the car, follows him into the bathroom, and immediately opens the door and says, "Show me your hands." Now this is where things get interesting because like I'm playing the video on camera.
I cannot see the video.
And people who are recording it can see it. He's washing his hands. He's got a. You can see on the camera. He's got like. It's not a gun, but it's a taser. It's a tase gun.
The autism in my family.
You get tased, you get on the ground. Get on the ground.
Now he's ordering him to get on the ground for no reason.
Get on the ground. Do it, you're God. Silver and everything, you will be gone. Get back and get on the ground. Excuse me, I have to eat. Get back. I'm gonna eat. No, you're not.
Alright, so he's trying to get by the cop because he's hungry and he wants to get something to eat. And the police officer is being belligerent to be like, "No, you're gonna get on the ground right now."
You want to bet? Do you want to bet? You have ID on you? No, I don't. What's your name? Your name. What's your name? Get back. Touch me again, see what fucking happens.
So here's where things get interesting. He walks up to the cop, trying to get by, and then the cop pushes him back, like, "Touch me again, see what happens." And the guy, the jaywalker, is saying, like, "You don't touch me."
Get back. Touch me one more time and watch.
Now he shoots him with the taser.
Get on the ground now!
He's writhing in pain. "Get on the ground now! Get on the ground now! Look at what a big tough guy I am! Yeah! I have a badge that makes me immune to all moral responsibility. Get on the ground!"
Get on the ground now! 5125 taste. Get down on the ground again!
But they have only seconds, though.
Now what's funny here is that the guy recovers from being tased very quickly.
Get on the ground! Turn around.
This man is Chad.
He is a Chad. Unfortunately, things not end well for him. So the camera like flips around because like he decides to say, "No, I'm gonna be a big man. I'm gonna tackle this unarmed dude, and I'm gonna actually turn up the voltage." You can hear it. You can hear the clicking. Yeah, if you're listening to this, you could hear those gunshots. He's got a gun. Now I'm curious what happened because the article says like he fired twice, but on camera it sounds like a freaking machine gun was fired at him.
Yeah, you know what? I've noticed something in all of these videos.
What?
In every single one of these videos, it's always the officer trying to find an excuse to shoot the guy. Because they just don't like him. Even though they pose no real threat.
Yep.
I can understand it if they actually pose a threat, but none of them in these videos have shown a threat.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, as we've discussed, like on earlier streams, police officers have a direct incentive to actually kill people because they get overtime filing out paperwork if they do. So, yeah, I could imagine that there's a selection process in who they decide to shoot, but yeah, I mean, if you actually watch their behavior, the way they sort of just like follow people late at night, like in their patrol cars. I mean, they're looking for reasons to try and get in people's face so that they can shoot them.
Oh yeah, well, you can see the video. I'm gonna replay it right now. This cop is following him, this guy, and this was at night. So yeah, this is the kind of stuff that you would expect police officers to do. This was someone who was looking for a fight.
They'll sit there in parking lots or they'll sit there in back alleys just waiting and like looking for people. Then they'll find somebody and sort of like slowly start creeping around following them. I mean, there have been people documenting this extensively on YouTube. And yeah, like there was one Uber driver who like documented it there was just some cop randomly following him around. He wasn't even doing anything. So, yeah, this is something that they do, and it's well documented that they do this.
Get on the ground now. Get on the ground. Well, I mean,
Get out of the
What's-
car now.
what's perhaps most amusing is like what happens afterwards. You have this guy who, like, he's on the ground. Presumably, it's hard to tell because of the camera angle. The guy's presumably on top of him. They're like, he's got a gun. That's all you hear. And then, like, 5 seconds later, then it's like blam, 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 blam. It sounds like someone fired a freaking Uzi on him.
Okay, well, first of all, how would he have time to even think about pulling out a gun at that moment? Because there's only a couple places he could have hidden it.
Yeah.
I'm assuming he was wearing a jacket or something. If he is, then he could hide it in one of his pockets, but he would obviously have his arms pinned down because that's just what police officers do.
Yeah.
He'd have no way of getting to his gun, so that
Yeah.
is
Okay,
unless
well, first of all, liberals don't like police, okay, gang? So
Okay.
we gotta support the police because, and we gotta support them every time they do anything because the liberals are gonna call them racist, and if they call them racist, we're not gonna have them anymore.
Sounds like some Ben Shapiro.
Yeah,
like,
that's what it is. That's what it
impression.
was.
Pretty
It needs to be
much.
faster.
We gotta
do
have police
not
officers,
do not
gang.
insult my country for its actions because you're anti-Semitic.
We gotta have the police
Stop
officers.
doing that.
Okay, gang. If you agree that giving foreign aid to Israel is a bad thing, then you're clearly anti-Semitic. Okay.
Okay, gang.
Okay,
Okay,
gang.
everybody listen up. So you okay, gang? So if you don't support police officers and believe that police officers can literally do no wrong and literally every action of the police officer has ever been taken is completely justified, then you hate America, you hate this country, you hate Jews, you just want to murder everybody.
Yeah, if you think
Oh.
that Israeli soldiers murdering innocent Palestinians on the Gaza Strip is bad, gang, then you're clearly anti-Semitic.
Oh, you're a little toddler.
If
Can
you don't
count to-
support
can
them
count to
kicking out
12?
people for being racially impure, then you're anti-Semitic.
Yeah.
Gang.
You think you're a toddler can count to 12? Well, watch me count to 2 fucking million. and then
Now-
I'm
That's
gonna
not,
grip stuff
that's
that
not
fucking-
ethno-nationalism, gang. That says in the Talmud that it's okay to do that, so it's clearly justified under Judaism.
Also, back to the article. So his justification for shooting him at point blank range when he's on top of him and has him completely pinned down is that there's a gun. And spoiler alert, there was no gun. When they went to look for a gun, it turns out that the gun they thought they saw was actually a discarded taser.
But seconds count, gang.
But seconds count. That's the problem I think with America and especially the way that cops are trained. It's people have pointed out the warrior cop mentality before. I would go further in saying that police officers are ingrained with this understanding that their lives are more important than that of everybody else. So, Blue Lives Matter. What Blue Lives Matter really means is only Blue Lives Matter.
Pretty much.
And so
That's
as a
really
result,
That's not a strictly American phenomena, which you kind of implied. I mean, if you go over to like how Saudi Arabia and some of these countries which have more armed police forces, they have sort of the same thing going on.
Terrorism.
And then in Europe, they have the exact opposite going on, where some people are literally just straight up allowed to commit whatever crimes they want, and the police won't do anything about it.
pretty much. And when the police are called, you have one guy who can basically, you've seen that video before of like the one migrant chasing off a group of 7 British police officers.
Yeah.
All he has to do is just look threatening and they scurry away.
Well, that seems to be that's the only conclusion you get from centralized monopoly on the security force is you get they're either too aggressive or they don't do their job. It's one of those two. That's all you get around the world.
Well, you see, if these. Okay, I forgot what I was about to say. Never mind.
That's why they need competition.
Well,
What
definitely.
was I gonna say?
Now,
But
oh, sorry, you were gonna say something.
I'm trying to remember because SO was talking before I said something. Let me try to remember.
All right. Well, one other thing I wanted to bring up was one thing that didn't get shown on the stream, and it's like I only showed the video like halfway through, so there's more that happens. But you
Oh.
have this police officer who is clearly distressed by what he did, and he's just like he's holding the guy's hand. This is like, come on, man, stay with me, stay with me, and you can hear him like whimpering to himself, like oh, some stuff like that, and he's clearly distraught.
Doesn't really change the fact that he did it, but I mean, I
Yeah.
suppose it's a little bit
But it's-
better that he feels bad about it, at least superficially.
Yeah, but I was telling you guys before this recording started that I watched it. I watched this murderer kill someone in cold blood, and I was just can't help but thinking like, oh, you feel bad? I hope you hold on to this feeling, and I hope it remains with you for the rest of your life. Now,
Yeah,
I don't.
he's not. I mean, I was just briefly looking over it without any audio while you were watching it. He doesn't look like he feels genuinely bad about it. He probably he knows that he's on camera and he probably just wants to look bad for the camera. I mean, I assume he probably did. At least I'll give him the benefit of the doubt and assume that he did feel bad about it to an extent. But as you pointed out, he did that because he feels the exact same way about other people as every other police officer. So, where his life is the only one that matters, and anyone that he encounters is a threat to his life, and that threat needs to be taken out. So, I mean, he probably 5 minutes after that recording ended, he was probably just back to, okay, well, I got to finish my shift.
He's probably like, oh no. I mean, I don't know what's in his mind. Could have been just like, oh no, oh no, oh no, I have to spend 3 hours on paperwork. Or oh no, oh no, oh no, I might have to be inconvenienced by.
I'm just assuming that he was thinking that based on, what we know about the mentality of a police officer.
Well, they're killers. There's no other way to put it. This guy died pointlessly because he was being stalked by a person who probably needed to fill their arrest quota and wanted to look like a badass doing it. I mean, this guy was clearly young, and in the video, it's very hard to see like what he was doing since the camera angle is clearly the camera is on the floor, pointed up towards the ceiling. It's hard to see what he's doing or what he's
Probably for a reason.
probably for. Well, it looks like actually that it dropped since it's like let's look at the video. Here we have them like they're tussling and throwing each other around, and it looks like the camera got dropped.
And that's why you keep knives on you, kids.
Pretty much. And if anyone's going to be like, oh, you don't need to own guns because the police will protect you.
Screw off.
Yeah, well,
like
They're not there to protect you. They're there to enforce the law. It doesn't matter if the law is against you or not.
pretty much.
That's like-
And whether or
That's
not
like
the
saying that
I mean,
firefighters
it's
don't need
funny how
fire
they say that law enforcement is there to protect you. Law enforcement, you just said it. They're called law enforcement. They're not there to protect you. They're there to enforce laws.
just Castle Rock versus Gonzalez. That's all you need to say.
That's
Oh,
also
but it
the
was to-
equivalent of
Oh, but it's to
saying-
help
Or
the soldiers
Shawnee
who.
versus
No.
Winnebago County. I mean, there's
No.
plenty of examples.
No, but what the Castle Rock versus Gonzalez court case?
Well, yeah, I just
I
mentioned it.
actually got a comment a month ago when I made the Lieutenant Corbus video. They were saying, well, that law was in place so that if police officers failed to protect people, that they wouldn't be sued. It's like, so? It doesn't change the law.
I hope you'd be sued if you're a police officer. I hope I would be able to sue you for failing to protect someone. That would make them at least slightly more accountable.
I mean, you wouldn't need to do that if they just had competition, but yeah, since they've outlawed all the competition, or at least they've made it so competition has to also be owned by the state, or at least, operate under their jurisdiction. So it's basically not competition. That's all you really can do, and even then it doesn't work because, yeah, you can't hold them accountable in court. So
Who
Pretty
was that
much.
one motherfucker in the Discord that bootlicking ass motherfucker that tried showing that the government does follow its own rules sometimes?
When?
The one that SO banned like not too long ago.
Which one?
In the Lord Killian thing?
no,
No,
in my Discord server, there
Yeah.
was some guy trying to say that Edward Snowden's a traitor and he should be locked up. Oh, see, the government's following the law. I mean, they make the law and they can choose whether or not they follow it, but see, they're following the law. Just fuck that guy.
Just stop. The average person commits 3 felonies. This is the problem with statist laws. Is that it's
No,
the purpose of state law is to serve two functions. One, to create a double standard in which the government is not required to obey rules, even the ones that they sent. And two, to entrap people in a system where they commit 3 felonies a day, and it's entirely up to the arbitrary whim of government whether or not a person should be locked up for whichever of the 3 felonies they committed that day.
yeah, it's certain, but that's that argument that, oh, the government's following the laws they enforce, regardless of whether or not they're ethical, so that means that the government's good. That's circular reasoning.
Pretty
So-
much. And let's move on to the next topic. This one's not quite as horrifying, but actually it is, just in a completely different way. Global bloodbath. World stocks puke over 8 trillion as U.S. markets collapse.
Welcome to
Uh,
late sadism, everyone.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's fun.
So for the last
That doesn't mean we've officially entered the crash yet, right?
No. But basically
Well,
what happened is that global capital markets in the losses for the last 5 weeks in a row have lost just under 9 trillion.
Wow.
Which is the biggest, which is according at least to the article from Zero Hedge that I'm reading right now, the biggest, fastest drop since Lehman Brothers, which was around 8.2 trillion. So this is a drop on the scale of the 2008 financial crisis. Let that sink
Yeah,
in.
that's most industries of the world in a decline right now.
Oh yeah. Oh, and here's something else. Like someone mirrored the decline of Deutsche Bank with the decline of Lehman Brothers, and it's like very close, like almost exact.
We're
Yes.
entering the crash, everybody.
Yep,
Yep.
this is the last. I think I've been telling you guys this. This is the last few days of quote unquote Trump's economy.
So the economy's going to crash harder than Paul Walker.
It's gonna
Yeah.
crash. Yes,
Pretty much.
actually.
You know what's funny?
And this was just the first week. Just hold on, Atomic. This was the first week, and it's already worse than the 2008 crash. I mean, it's just gonna get worse from here. So
You know what's funny?
Yeah. Is it?
Due to my lack of autonomy due to my age, I am completely unable to prepare for the crash, and I can't convince my parents to do it because they don't believe me. I'm screwed.
Do you at least have savings?
I have a bunch of quarters,
gonna
but they
be
won't
gone,
last me
you know.
long.
yeah, so that's the problem is you need to like start buying gold because the dollar is so close to defaulting as is, and there are so many fucking governments of the world which are trying to overthrow the OPEC agreement and try and take supremacy over the oil markets. I just fucking it's not gonna. I think the dollar is done too.
But
The
the
market-
dollar is
No.
The markets are gonna
I've-
crash and the dollar's done.
I've tried convincing him that, to get gold. I've told my dad, the market's really volatile. Then he just said, well, Bitcoin's really volatile too. I was like, that was in 2017. It has a new net code now. So.
Yeah. So.
I mean,
Can I get a small loan of 0.5 bitcoins, please?
Yeah. So I mean, like,
just look at the U.S. dollar right now. The U.S. dollar, they're trying to make, like, if you look it up in the news, they'll say, "Oh, we're predicting that the dollar is gonna, rise in 2019." But if you actually look at what the dollar is doing, it's declining, at a relatively similar rate to the world's economy. So.
I feel happy, but I'm also terrified at the same time. Because of the
pretty
crash.
much.
I'm happy too because I know what the implications are. The moment that the economy actually does fully fucking tank and the U.S. dollar defaults, everybody's gonna either buy gold, silver, or any other precious metals and cryptocurrency, and the people who put all their assets in gold and silver will quickly begin to start trading in cryptocurrency, which will pretty quickly lead to the stabilization of a counter market and from there, the undermining of the state and the beginning of a stateless society.
So I just need to survive for about 5 years until.
Well, no, not 5 years. It'll probably happen. The important thing is to survive the first 3 days. After that, you're probably going to be set. But I mean, like, if you have like allowance, if you have things you can sell, you probably don't need to buy gold because gold is expensive. You can do with silver though. It's about like $14 an ounce, I think.
$14 an ounce.
Yeah.
And keep in mind,
should I just get all my money? Because I've been saving. I have well over $400 saved up.
Oh yeah, you should definitely do that.
I would put all of it in precious metals. I don't care what your parents say. You are based with that $400 you're going to put in precious metals. You're basically going to keep your household above water. So.
Yeah.
That
will be incredibly valuable. Definitely put that all in gold and silver. I mean, gold's gone up since I bought it, which was like in 2000. So.
Damn.
What's really fucking stupid is I don't know if this is a federal law, but at least in this state, you have to have a license to trade in precious metals, in silver, gold bonds. So the state is literally trying to make it so people cannot stabilize their assets. Hello?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, they're trying to make it so everyone's assets get liquefied deliberately. They're making it more difficult to actually save your assets from liquefying in the case of a market crash. So, thankfully, I
was kicked from the call.
What? I did not do that.
No, my network kicked me.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, what I was saying before you got kicked is that I don't know if this is like a federal law, but in my state there's a license. You have to have a license to trade in gold and silver bonds, and so the state's deliberately trying to make it so your assets will get liquefied, so it's harder to actually preserve all of your assets, and I think that's just incredibly screwed up. I mean, it really is, but I mean, at the same time, I actually know somebody who does have a license who I'm just gonna wire a bunch of money to them and they're gonna buy a bunch of silver for me.
There you go.
This is off topic, but the Library of Congress has created a fair use exemptions to the Digital Millennium Copyright Act that will allow archivists to save classic video games from going extinct. So yay. Something.
But no, I think that when the market crashes, like I just said, I don't know if it's hard for you guys to get gold and silver. You made it sound really easy, so I presume that they don't have that in whatever state you're from, Filthy. But and again, the laws could have changed since then. But yeah, I think that this is the time to buy gold, precious metals, silver, just any of them.
Yeah, for sure. So let's see here. Next topic is roofer being fined £300 in the UK for having empty chip packets and sandwich wrappers in his van.
Speaking
Oh,
of
I gotta go.
Oh,
I gotta
sorry.
go.
See ya.
all right.
See ya.
Yeah,
Well,
so what?
speaking of licensing laws, now we get to a case of, oh, you got a license for that, mate?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's a joke, but it's something that happens far too frequently for a lot of people.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't even. That's terrifying that they have a law which says you can't have a garbage bag in your car. Like,
Yeah,
I don't know about you guys, but I've been doing that pretty much all my life. At least in our cars, we have a garbage bag that we put fast food wrappers and stuff in there, so we don't end up throwing it all on the floor.
hmm
Yeah. Yeah.
Usually I just hold on to it before I can get somewhere where there's a trash can. But yeah, here we have just a guy who, for
Yeah,
some
that's
reason, it's worth the tyrant's time to enforce a law that's completely pointless.
Yeah, that's not even something. My point is that's not even something we think about. That's just sort of something that makes sense, so we do it.
Pretty much.
So I just can't believe the extent to which people in the UK are having their lives controlled, and yet people over here have the audacity to say it's a free country.
Just a quick question, isn't the UK within the top 10 of the most economically free countries? Just by any
Uh,
chance?
Based on what?
I don't know.
let me look that up.
Yeah.
Because last time I looked at the chart, I thought, if I'm correct, it is on. If it might be on there, I might be thinking of something else.
I'm pulling it up right now.
Okay. Or is it within at least within the top 20, or at least 11 through 20?
I don't think it's on the. I'm looking up heritage.org's freedom index.
Yeah, it's 8.
It's number 8.
8.
Okay, just curious.
And
How is it? Wow.
it's economic freedom. I don't think it's personal freedom. Let's see.
No,
Property
that
right.
is that is economic freedom.
True.
The ability to throw your trash into a garbage bag without a license, because that's something you're doing with commodities.
Mhm. Yeah, well, it doesn't look like they have very much. I mean, what do you say about that? It's just like you have.
That tells me most of the countries underneath it aren't economically free, because that's pretty fucking atrocious.
It's really bad. Well, I think what it is that the police, given that they've been given constant stand down orders to refuse enforcing laws that might actually help people, like getting rid of that whole acid attack epidemic in London, and fixing the ongoing rape gangs, the Pakistani rape gangs that infest like every single one of the UK cities, it seems like.
Or
Instead of talking about
any
instead of
corner of
Okay, so I looked up a graph of the data, and their score on property rights has significantly declined. So that's
yeah.
a fair explanation.
Well, they've always been authoritarian, so I mean, what can you say?
pretty much. I mean, I think what it is that enforcing laws to actually enforcing the laws that actually would help people, stopping the Muslim rape gangs,
Yeah.
stopping the acid attacks, that's hard work and it puts them in harm's way. So instead, they enforce things that are incredibly
Okay.
easy to enforce.
Hold on, though. Okay, so I'm actually looking at how they're scoring this, and it makes a bit more sense now because, well, it still doesn't really make sense because, so apparently their overall tax burden is not necessarily like that high in comparison to other countries. It's still like 32.5% for domestic income. But yeah, when you look at the trade and their property rights, they're declining or at least flatlined. So
Ooh, okay. Interesting.
again, I would need to like look more into this because it seems that they're using some pretty weird definitions.
That seems to be the case.
Man. I forgot what we were talking about.
We were talking about the guy being fined 300 pounds in the UK because he doesn't have a license to carry trash in his car. I'm sorry, rubbish. I'm not British enough to handle this. Empty crisp packets are rubbish. 1v1 me, mate. I'll kick your arse, I swear me mum. I don't think anyone's British enough for that.
I want to get a cop and do a Fortnite dance on it. On the fucking corpse. Okay, that's more of an Irish voice. I don't know what I'm doing.
Alright, well, I think we can move on to the next topic.
Yeah.
Alright, so here's something that's really silly. Shall we add a little lithium to the water supply? Now, in case you guys don't remember, lithium is an incredibly reactive alkali metal. It's number 3 on the periodic table. And apparently, a Tufts psychology professor has encouraged people to add lithium to reduce suicide rates.
How?
I'm not sure. I don't know what the connection is between lithium and suicide rates. I don't know. Maybe someone more experienced with biochemistry can help explain that one to us. But for me, it's just, what?
We will never know.
It makes no sense to me either.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah,
Well,
apparently that's
it
a.
turns out like they don't actually put lithium. They instead put a chemical that turns the friggin' frogs gay.
Well, they're already
Or
doing
that's
that.
what lithium probably
Well,
does.
I mean, you got to think about it for a second, Filthy. The suicide rate can't increase if everyone's dead from the beginning.
Oh, I see where they're going with this.
Damn, I didn't think of it that way.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I prepared something for our enjoyment, for what happens. So remember, this is a professor of psychology, not a professor of chemistry. So here's what happens
Oh,
when you put alkali metals into water. Lithium,
It's fun.
it bursts into flames. It just straight up bursts into flames.
That sounds
Sodium.
awesome to drink.
When sodium is placed in water, it bursts into flames. It shoots out sparks for like a few seconds. And then it just straight up explodes.
Yay!
And so, I mean, they're not planning on putting sodium in water. They're planning on putting lithium. But here's a video of lithium burning in water again. I mean, what? What is this guy thinking? Yeah, let's just go ahead and add more random crap into our water supply and hope for the best. Hopefully, people won't freaking spontaneously combust by the fact that you're putting freaking something that explodes into people. Now, isn't lithium an ingredient in batteries?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, that's a very pleasant thought. I mean, I never thought that. I know that human body needs potassium for some reason.
Oh,
I
and if
mean,
you drink it with alcohol, you die instantly. Not instantly, but you die shortly after.
yes,
You die quicker than a celebrity relationship.
pretty much. But yeah, well, that's fun. You have a brewer using tap water. However, they put lithium in there, so now they're brewing all this beer and alcohol. People drink it. There's lithium in there and alcohol, and people die.
Oh boy.
I mean, this is still just a proposal. It's an idea, but honestly, I have a hard time
Seems pretty
coming up with
awesome.
Honestly, I'm having a hard time coming up with even worse ideas, with the exception of statism.
Sounds awesome.
It's not fun unless you enjoy, spontaneously combusting.
Who wouldn't want to have that happen?
Me, I enjoy being alive, thank you.
I mean, so do I. Well, I mean, who knows? There might be some explosive enthusiast that might want to feel what it's like to be blown up.
No, you don't need lithium for that, nor should that be imposed on the rest of us. I hope.
Yeah. Okay, real quick. So, like in my state, there's like an election like between Ted Cruz and Beto O'Rourke. And I'm looking at Beto because my friend said she would vote for him. And so here's one thing about under economics. It says lower the barrier to entry for small businesses so that every entrepreneur and emerging growth company can have an opportunity to be successful. Then immediately under that, promote regulations that protect consumers, promote competition, and grow the economy. Support stronger antitrust regulations that break up monopolies and trust that stifle competition and innovation. Sounds fucking amazing.
Well, what you have is an example of Orwellian doublethink.
Oh man, no, maybe next stream we should just see what the hell. Oh my god. Oh nope. Oh my goodness, no public tax dollars should be given to private schools. Yep. If I were to vote for this, if I were to vote, I would definitely not vote for him.
Vote for Ted Cruz or Beto O'Rourke.
Well, both of them suck.
True.
They're-
I mean, like, who's got the least amount of suck?
Actually, to be fair, no public tax dollars should be given to private schools. Honestly, we shouldn't be taxed to begin with.
Well, yeah.
So I mean, what difference would it make if you gave tax dollars to a private school versus a public school? I mean, what's the difference?
I don't know. Well, I mean, the
my
difference is, I think, between the voucher system and just you go to this school because you live closer. But I think that's just about that's the only thing. So let's move on to the final topic. Florida man arrested for sending toy bombs with toy clocks to Democrats.
Yeah, you've probably seen this one already because it's all over the news.
Yep.
Yep.
Sorry. Play it some more.
Okay, hold on. Damn, hold, fucking phone, work! What are you doing? Stop! There we go.
The Florida man theme, everyone.
Yep, Florida man. You've seen him all over the news recently. Apparently, he's not very happy about being talked about so extensively in our streams, and has been deciding to further polarize the country through politics because of the stuff that we've been talking about lately.
Yep. I mean, we devoted an entire stream specifically to him and only him. So I figure this is his attempt at payback. Though why he would send a bomb to Maxine Waters' house rather than mine, I don't know. I mean, I guess it's Florida man, so I mean, nothing he does really makes sense.
Why he would send bombs in the first place doesn't really make sense, but
Were they even actual bombs anyway?
no, they weren't.
I heard they were like fake.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of them, the picture that's circling around, literally the timer on it's not even real. It's like a sticker stuck to the front of it.
Stupid. Wasn't there one? Didn't one of them have like an ISIS like flag or whatever like symbol on it
Yeah,
or
why would a
logo?
Trump supporter have an ISIS fucking flag on it?
This is a like I mean I don't know. I mean there was that one dude that that one shooter that had like the hammer and sickle and the swastika like on his trench coat.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
the Oregon shooter.
I think he was from Texas.
I'm pretty sure it was Oregon. But anyways,
Okay, well, whatever. Point is that
It's
he's just trying to be an edgelord.
well, what's
Actually,
funny here is that you see this guy's truck or his van, and all the windows, except on the driver's side, and presumably the passenger side, hopefully the windshield, we haven't confirmed the windshield, are just covered in generic Republican stickers.
So there's an actual picture of it. Can you post it in the Cool Capitalist Kids chat?
1 sec,
Okay.
I'm trying to get the picture off of Twitter.
How long has the stream been going now?
I
About
have
an
no
hour?
freaking idea.
Like an hour. Basically,
Okay, because I was going to say, like, if this is going really quick, we should just read the stuff that Beto O'Rourke supports, because this stuff is just really funny. Like, I kid you not, this guy really supports the end of wage discrimination and close the
yeah, he
gender
doesn't
pay
really
gap.
support that. He's just trying to fire up his base. We've been over this.
It's
But
gonna be the
it's
same.
just so funny.
It's gonna be the same stuff over and over again.
He's just trying to scare people and trying to fucking further divide people. All of them are.
I swear I should just show my friend this stream and maybe, well, I highly doubt she would change her mind. She didn't take it seriously when I said we should privatize nukes. So I mean, one day I should just actually just try to convince her. And if not, I'm going to give her a free helicopter ride.
Well, you should already be giving her a free helicopter ride because we've been over this. She's the living embodiment of a thought.
I mean, you have seen the picture. She does have an ass.
Because
So
she's
yeah,
overweight.
you're not wrong there.
Because she's
No, like
fat.
no, like I was actually with her today. She actually does have an ass, and it's not because of the weight.
But there are a lot of very interesting discrepancies in regards to the van that really don't make a lot of sense to me. Like all these pictures are put onto a collage that are a perfect rectangle. And I don't understand. Why would you like what kind of art project is it that you have all of these pictures that are seemingly disjointed, you have them all on in perfect rectangles? Two, I aside from like one or two, I don't think I've seen very many people who put stickers at all on their windows. They're usually like on the back of the van, or if they're run out of room on the back and the sides, but it's always on the body, not on the windows. And for some reason, it's like all these pictures show that the van is completely clean except for the windows.
I'll never know.
So I don't understand.
Do Ehart have retard?
I guess. In 1 second, I'm just going to try to post
Did Esso leave?
So are you there?
I don't
Yeah,
see
you
him.
left.
He made like David Copperfield disappear. Okay, I guess I'm the only one surviving.
Yay. Well, you're
Winner,
the
winner,
last one
chicken dinner,
standing.
motherfuckers.
Well, I guess we'll end the stream here, so...
Aw. Was there? Are you sure? Are you sure there's like nothing else that we can probably look up real quick?
No.